Today, let's talk about the most brutal slave owner to ever live. This story gets very gruesome, what I'm about to tell you. Be aware, but let's get into it. The story of Madame Lalaurie. Madame Lalaurie is known as the torture queen of New Orleans. She did very demonic acts to her slaves, to the point where she holds the nickname the torture queen of New Orleans. She is one of the most infamous serial killers in the world. In 1831, her and her husband lived in a mansion in New Orleans, with an attached slave quarters. Her public treatment of her slaves were decent, but behind closed doors, they were truly demonic. There's one gruesome story where a 12-year-old girl was combing her hair. While combing, she accidentally pulled one of her hairs. So Lalaurie chased her around with the whip. The young lady jumped off the rooftop mansion rather than await the torturing that was waiting for her. That's how afraid she was of Lalaurie. She was also famous for collecting horrendous torture devices. She even beat her daughters for trying to feed starving slaves. Now let's get into her horrendous crimes. She would stuff animal feces in her own slave's mouth and then sew them shut. She would also wrap her slaves' intestines around their own body. She once had the arms of a woman amputated and her skin peeled off in a circular fashion to resemble a caterpillar. The limbs of another slave were broken at odd angles so that they could resemble a human crab. She also had a 70-year-old female slave chained to a stove. She was even known for gouging her slaves' eyes out, poked holes in their skulls, leaving maggots to infest the openings. Remember I just said the lady slave that was chained to a stove? She set fire because she did not want to go to the upper room in that mansion. Because the upper room in that mansion is where Lalaurie would torture slaves. Police would soon discover these things, but Lalaurie would then flee to Paris, where she died in 1849. And this is the house where she used to torture them. I'm just truly lost for words. But that is it for this story. I'm out. Deuce.